各位记者
Friends from the press, good afternoon. Welcome to today's regular press conference, and I welcome your questions now.
谢谢发言人。中新社记者提问：第4届中国中东欧国家
The fourth China, Central and Eastern European Countries Expo and International Consumer Goods Fair was being held in Ningbo, Zhejiang. Can you share more details? The fourth China, Central and Eastern European Countries Expo and the International Consumer Goods Fair opened in Ningbo, Zhejiang on May the 22nd. State Councillor Shen Yiqing attended and addressed the opening ceremony. Chairman of the National Council of Slovakia, the guest country of honor, and Vice Presidents of Slovenia's National Assembly delivered remarks respectively. Both Chinese and foreign guests spoke highly of China's CEEC cooperation, noting that with the joint efforts of the two sides, the mutually beneficial cooperation has been strengthened, promising broad prospects for common development.
Over 10 major events on business talks, investment, people-to-people, and cultural exchanges were held. More than 50 small-scale yet beautiful events for different sectors countries will be hosted to unlock opportunities for cooperation across the board in different fields. 7 political figures and over 10 senior officials at the ministerial level or above from Central and Eastern European countries, as well as 3,000 plus foreign buyers from 72 countries and regions attended the expo. Procurement intentions for imports are projected to exceed RMB 10 billion yuan. From this expo, CEEC cooperation not just boosts trade but also promotes people-to-people exchanges. The expo is still ongoing, and I welcome all friends in all countries and sectors. Come here and feel the CEEC cooperation and its dynamism. Next one, please.
谢谢。深圳卫视直新闻。
Shenzhen TV, a special online meeting of economic and trade ministers from China and ASEAN was held recently. The two sides jointly announced the completion of negotiations on the version 3.0 China-ASEAN Free Trade Area. Can you share more details? This is indeed a good news. It is a key step towards signing the CAFTA 3.0 upgrade protocol. China and ASEAN are firm supporters of economic globalization and multilateralism. The full completion of the negotiations represents a strong message of supporting free trade and open cooperation. Through building an inclusive, modern, comprehensive, and mutually beneficial free trade area, China and ASEAN will open up further to each other and realize common prosperity and development. 路透社，特朗普政府取消了哈佛大学招收国际学生的资格，并迫使现有的外国学生转学到其他学校，否则他们将失去合法身份。国土安全部部长表示，该大学与中国共产党协调，因此政府做出这一决定。 中国学生占哈佛大学国际学生的20%，中方对此有何回应 ？China-U.S. education cooperation benefits both sides. China opposes politicizing education cooperation. What the U.S. seeks to do will undoubtedly hurt its own image and reputation in the world. China will firmly protect the legitimate and lawful rights and interests of Chinese students and scholars overseas. 彭博社追问关于哈佛的问题。国土安全部还提到了新疆。本周早些时候，美国国会议员致信哈佛大学校长，要求校方提供该校与中国政府和军方的关系的信息。他们声称这所大学 接待和培训了新疆生产建设兵团的成员，而兵团在2020年因涉嫌侵犯人权被美国制裁。外交部对哈佛大学涉嫌与中共和兵团有联系有何评论？
我想重申的是。
I want to reiterate that China all along opposed politicizing educational cooperation and the unfounded attack and smear targeting China. The sanctions you mentioned is illegal, and the U.S. should stop it.
下一个问题。
Next one.
发言人你好，环球时报环球网记者提问：据报道，22日针对菲方炒作中国海警船在铁线。
It is reported that on the Philippines' narratives on China Coast Guard vessels' law enforcement activities near Tiesianjiao, Mary Kay Carson, U.S. ambassador to the Philippines, said in a post on X on May 22 that the China Coast Guard's aggressive actions against a civilian mission near Sandy Cay recklessly endanger lives and threaten regional stability. The U.S. stands with the Philippines in support of international law and a free and open Indo-Pacific. What's your comment? China Coast Guard has released a statement on and on-site video footage on the incident. The facts speak for themselves. The Philippines, despite China's dissuasion, has repeatedly sent people to illegally step on Tiesianjiao, which is part of China's Nansha Qundao. That severely infringes on China's sovereignty and violates the declaration on the conduct of parties in the South China Sea. China's response is fully necessary, legitimate, and lawful. The Philippines needs to immediately stop its infringement activities and provocations. Otherwise, China will make a resolute response. The U.S. should refrain from using the Philippines to create trouble in the South China Sea and stop undermining peace and tranquility in the South China Sea.
记者提问：据报道，今日台湾红彩头6号渔船被日本公务船以违反渔约。
It was reported that recently Taiwan's Hongcaitou 6 fishing boat was detained by Japanese official vessels for violating fishing regulations and was then released after paying a huge fine. China last year protested over Japan's detention of Taiwanese fishing boats. Did China protest to Japan this time? The Chinese government attaches great importance to safeguarding the lawful interests of Chinese fishermen, including those from the Taiwan region. According to the China-Japan Fisheries Agreement, Japan has the right to take enforcement measures against Chinese fishing vessels in relevant waters. China has protested over Japan's detention of the fishing boat Hongcaitou 6, asking the Japanese side to immediately correct the wrongdoing and take effective measures to prevent similar incidents from happening again.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
Question from AFP for
法新社本周早些时候在华盛顿发生了枪击，枪杀了2名人员。这有可能是反犹主义的一个攻击。中方对此有何评论？
我们注意到有关报。
We noted the relevant report. China condemns all forms of violence. We hope that the safety of diplomats should be effectively guaranteed.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Any other question today?
question from Bloomberg regarding
彭博社，荷兰外交大臣周四接受记者采访时表示，在他与中方的讨论中，中方提出了放宽半导体出口管制的问题，外交部能否证实并介绍更多细节？
费尔
During Minister Veldkamp's visit to China, Vice Premier Ding Xuexiang and Foreign Minister Wang Yi met and had talks with him respectively. The two sides had in-depth exchange of views on bilateral relations and issues of mutual interest. Foreign ministers of the two countries reached a 6-point common understanding. We've released readouts of the meetings, which you may refer to. On semiconductor export control, China has made clear its position on multiple occasions. Semiconductor is a highly globalized industry, and its industrial and supply chains came into shape as a result of the choices of both the market and businesses. For some time, certain countries have been overstretching the concept of national security, slapping export control and long-arm jurisdiction, and severely threatening the stability of global industrial and supply chains. Such moves will only hurt the interests of all eventually. China and the Netherlands are highly complementary in the semiconductor sector, and our cooperation is mutually beneficial. The two sides maintain close communication through existing channels. China stands ready to work with the Netherlands and the rest of the world to embrace open cooperation and jointly keep the global semiconductor industrial and supply chain stable. Next one.
还有其他问题吗？
Other question?
那好，今天
Well, this is the end of today's press conference and have a happy weekend.